Okay, it is time for yet another stream, and I'm so excited. I am going to wrap up the Joker today. I am determined. So, for right now, I am going to be finishing up his shirt, and then, like I said on Instagram, I am busting out my very old acrylic paint. I don't have like the perfect Joker color, but that's fine. I will just mix all these together, whatever I may need, and I have a bag. Check this out. So this is all my acrylic paint. As you can see, it's barely used, and I keep it in a bag in the basement in storage. So clearly it's not something I use very often at all. This is all leftover from one painting I did 7, maybe 8 years ago. So yeah, not a common thing to do for me. But I'm gonna use them and just mix it. And I don't have an acrylic white, I realized, but I do have gouache paint in white. And I looked it up on the internet last night to see if I can mix gouache with acrylic, which you can, but their drying properties are slightly different. Gouache dries matte. Acrylic can have a bit of a sheen to it or a little bit more of a plasticky texture. So this is, it might make for an interesting looking finish on the page, but anyway, I'm gonna try it regardless. Kylie, what are you doing awake? It must be so late for you right now, love. But hello, and check out the shirt. I'm wearing it today. For anyone that's on here, Kylie made me this shirt. She even made me a little chibi character, and I love it. The shirt, you can't see the whole thing here, but it says, "Professionally winging it." And that's exactly what I'm doing today, because as you guys have seen, I am a penciler by trade. I am not a painter. I am 100% not a portrait artist. So this is all new for me. But it's not like, you know, I don't know how to draw, but I don't really know how to use these tools. So it's different. It's very different than using Copic markers, and it's different than using digital paint for sure. So every tool it's a slight learning curve, right? And I have not entered said curve of learning with these tools. So this is the last, since 2018, I have been, the beginning of 2018, I've been learning things I didn't know how to do. Actually, scratch that. Mid-2017, I started coloring my own work digitally. I started learning watercolor for interior work. It's just been learning curve year and a half. and it's awesome. I love it. I love learning new stuff. And thank you guys for joining me on said journey. Oh, Kylie, well, you got to bed so late last night, and I know I'm starting to sound like your mom. But yeah, get some sleep too. I don't want to keep you up. Kathy, hello, and River Dragon, hi. I know this is a weird time of day for me to go live. And that's because Friday's schedule is a little bit odd as far as the kids go. So they have half days. There's certain things that require me to either go stream early, and I never have my act together enough to go early. I'm still barely getting dressed at this point. I have been up since 5 a.m., but I don't exactly clean myself up. Hello, El Sammy, Coach Sim, hello. Thank you so very much. I'm glad you guys are liking it. I'm glad you can tell who it is. Kara! Mwah, lots of love to you. All right, so on the last stream, I started mixing some color for his shirt. And then I decided to do the green first. And I'm kind of layering everything on. My plan is that his face is in detail. Some of his hairline is going to be detailed, and then as it fans out, the picture gets a lot more smooshy and almost abstract looking. So that's sort of where my head is at with all of it. I didn't like the shape of his jaw that I'd initially watercolored in, so I took some Copic marker and I filled it in there. But the Copic marker is far more saturated than the watercolor, so I'm going to be adding more watercolor in there. I'm going to be working on his shirt, his tie, and then we're going to do his hair is kind of the last thing because it's with acrylic, and it's going to be the kind of the last part I touch, I think. Yes, lots of smooshy. That's right. That's Harley right. Thank you, Kara. Okay, see you later, Kathy. Hugs to you too. All right, so I have Q-tips if needed. They're really great erasers for painting. And then, yeah, I just need to get going on his shirt now. Now, right here I made a mistake, and I covered up what should be the back of his collar, because it goes around his neck, right? Yay, I'm glad the splattering looks good. Now, there is a seam, and it's blue, like satin, this same kind of bluish tone, blue-purple, in satin on the back right here. So I do need to put that seam in, because of course we're not seeing him perfectly straight on where you wouldn't see part of the seam of his shirt. So I've got that to do as well. So it's going to be an exciting day, fixing up things and hopefully finishing it. Even if I don't finish this live, I will finish it over the weekend. And maybe what I'll do, I have another camera here, which is not always on screen, but I'll show you guys. This one is what I used for Facebook Live. And so what I'll do is maybe if I don't finish it here, I'll do one of those time-lapse videos and wrap it up with a time-lapse video and post that later. Okay, this is a big part. All right, it's fixed and out of my way. All right, so I'm just gonna get his shirt right here so I can see it. Okay, so it's green all the way around. Perfect. All right, and then I don't know if this is gonna work. So, you know, I'm gonna put it on and just cross my fingers and hope it works okay. And that is, I'm gonna mask out, and this is sort of the lazy girl mask because I don't want to use the masking fluid this time. I don't know, I just don't feel like it. So I'm gonna use this to mask out his tie. That is so true, Kylie. A don't feed the dawn. That's right. Good morning, Juan. That would be hilarious. Don't feed the dawn. I love it. Oh my, and I made a mistake. I didn't realize that his collar came out over the shirt. So I may have to do the top of his collar in acrylic. And you know what? That actually, I think is gonna work a lot better because then I can handle all the other little mistakes that I made back here. So I might do the top of his shirt, like so his shirt collar in acrylic so that it's opaque and it'll cover the watercolor. And then have it splattering out and dripping down in the underneath parts. So let's draw that in first. This is my 0.5 millimeter pencil, and I'm going to do some basic drawing here. Okay, so this needs to go around and come up in the back. And then his collar, he has a really long collar. Really long and pointy, like so. So I'll probably actually splatter it out on the edges here. And it goes up higher here too. And I think his shoulders actually come down a little further here. And the top of it is blue. And the top is blue over here too. A little bit of green. Ooh, yes, Waffle Dan on a shirt sounds great too. All right, so I'm going to cover my actual sleeve here with the black sleeves that I have, because they already have tons of paint and ink on them, and I don't want to ruin my shirt. Hello, Chicago! And Ashley, hi! All right, and then his tie is right here, like so. And I'm gonna mask out his tie. So there we go. And the tie I want to be smoosh, and here I want it to be all smooshy. And I'm gonna actually pull this in a little bit further, right there. So I need to do some more green and then some more blue. So I guess the first thing that needs to happen is I need to make more blue. Oh yay, that fits perfect. Oh, you didn't, Juan? Yeah, I did 4 Lola covers. And that was so fun. And Sia colored them. It was great. All right, last little bit of tape here for his tie. I'm just masking that out. Okay, so his tie is covered. Whether or not I'm gonna stay in the lines with the tie, we'll have to see. And I don't want his collar to be perfect. So I'm gonna need to, I guess, wing that while we're doing everything, and try to splatter it out somehow once it reaches the like tips. So I can put that away. And his shirt collar is the exact same color as the back of his vest right here. So I can put that in too. But before I go any further, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on the background. So I'm gonna cut into his shoulder a little bit on that side just to even them out a little bit. Let me get a ruler and see. Yeah, so it sort of starts right here and then goes down to about here. So I'm gonna cut into this quite a bit with the background color. And I just wanna do more dark red and then go into black. And his skin and his hairline is quite high, but this is his ear right here. But I'm probably not gonna show all of his ear. But I'm gonna actually get the color of his ear in right now. All right, so let's just color in his ears real quick. And this is, we'll just see the bottom of his ears here. And then on this side, the same. We'll just see the bottom of them. And I'm using the same colors I did last time. So it's the E40. For here, I'm using some E41, E42, 70, 71, and then I may throw in a little bit of gray as well. You ate too many donuts? Oh, that sounds so yummy though, Juan. And I fast until noon, which is not so hard when you get up not quite as early, but today I got up at 5:15 is when I wake up, and then it's kind of hard. So at noon, I am gonna like put up my little concession picture and go get my lunch and just eat it with you guys. So I apologize. I have the weirdest lunch and you guys can see it. Thank you, Robert. Ashley, I fast, but no, I am like the couch potato of the century. I do have a workout program. However, what happens is when a deadline comes, I don't work out and I keep working, which is it's not a healthy way to function, and I know that. But when I have a deadline, I really can't think about anything else. So like if it's a pressing deadline. But yeah, right now I do kettlebell exercises. So I mostly do them with a 35-pounder. And I need to update my Q&A on my website because I have it that I work out in the mornings, but I don't anymore. I work out in the afternoon with my daughter who just turned 14, so we exercise together. Oh, that is awesome, Ashley. Okay, see you later, Kara. Have a good day, love. So his ears are technically, some of his makeup is back there. Think you're putting white paste on your face and you wipe it over your ears, so it isn't perfect. So first I'm getting in all the base skin tones, and then I'll go over and add some white afterwards. Hello, Halo. I hope your Friday is off to a great start, or if you don't live on this side of the world, I guess Friday's almost over, and that's awesome. Off into the weekend. Woot! Alright, I need to pull his ear down on this side a little bit, or just cover it with hair, which I might do. Oh, it's 5 p.m. for you? Oh, wow, Ashley. Are you in, like, the UK? Oh, thank you, Halo. I love the Australian accent so much, Kylie. I'm really bummed that I don't have it. Oh, you're in the UK. Cool. And it starts to, the makeup starts to fade out into skin tone up at the top of his forehead too. So I've got some gray there and some skin tone. And then I'm going to use some E71 as well. Thank you, Robert. They are such great colors, Kevin. I couldn't agree more. I am so grateful to Hans, who I can't remember what his Twitch name is, but he gave me one at a show and said he accidentally bought two, and I am so grateful to him for that because it's really opened up a whole new color set for me, and it's fantastic. Odd Hack, thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Croco Guy. I appreciate that. Have a great weekend. All right, marker's going away. All I needed was a little bit. Let's get some more dark red going on. And I'm gonna do all of this with dark red, even going to some black, and then I'll sketch in his hair, maybe with a little bit of white colored pencil just so I can see it. And I need to get some more of my deeper red. All right, so like I've showed you guys before, I'm a little out of supplies at the moment. Yes, smooshy time. So I'm using a mixture of this Crimson Lake watercolor. It's by Holbein. And then this sort of more vermilion red. And this is from my little travel set by Winsor & Newton. So I'm kind of mixing brands and types and colors to get the right color here. But this is a really nice deep red. So last time when I did my first pass over the background, I did mostly the orange with just a hint of this dark red. Now I want to do another pass over it with the darker red and then maybe even add in some black so it's nice and dark behind him. Oh, Voxel, hello! I am doing great. I hope you're doing good too. So I'm grabbing some of this vermilion and mixing it in here. But I don't want much of it. I'm just gonna water this down and use this mostly. Okay, that goes to the side. And this I'm painting down deeper to cover up some of the green here. Splattering out the edges. Ah, I got it on his face. Shit. I need to cover his face. Thankfully, all these white parts on his face I did with acrylic paint. So, oh, thank you, Halo. So I can wipe it off relatively easily. Let's just get it before it dries, and then I'll cover up his face. Which I should have done at the beginning. I didn't think I would get it all the way over here, but you can't control splatter. And I can go over it again with a little bit more white if need be. Some of the splatters actually make it look better, so I'm gonna leave some of them and just remove a few others that are clearly in the wrong spot. Get another Q-tip. Yeah, I splattered paint on the sides and didn't cover his face, so that's my bad. So I'll fix some of this at the end. Some of them I like, but some of them need to go. All right, so let's cover his face up. Oh, thank you, Bio. Oh, and Halo, thank you for the compliment about my hair. I really appreciate it. Okay. So I'm going to cover this up completely and weigh it down with some stuff. I don't want that messed up. Okay, now we can paint a little bit more freely and not be worried. drop a few big guys. And I'm sorry if I'm missing any questions or comments from you all. I'll be back to see them in just a second. Just want to get this done. And then I need to paint this in full right over here. Yay! Hi, Sketchy! Hi, Mystery! Thank you for stopping in. I'll be on for a few hours, I think like 3.5 hours this morning. And then I have to go pick up my kiddos. Get a bit more of this deep red going on. I ran out. Thank you, Blow Me Up. Hey, Tranquil. Where's my brush? Oh, here it is. All right, I'm grabbing a bit more of that vermilion color. Warm it up a little bit. My desk is going to be a disaster once this is done. I have to clean everything. I even have splatters on my monitor now. All right, now I'm going to grab some black. Darken up that red a little bit. I'm just going to move the camera so you guys can see. This is my mess over here. And I just need a little bit more red. I am, Robert. It really is awesome. That's right, Kylie. This even looks worse. All right, so I've added some red into it, added some black. I'm just trying to get like a really dark, almost Merlot kind of color, and I'm gonna mix it in while it's still wet. I mean, while the paper is still wet. All right, so I don't really know if this is gonna work, but let's give it a shot. Clearly he just has blood on the mind. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. I had the camera in the wrong place. I really was nervous with Magoo. I'd never done it before. Now I'm feeling a bit more comfortable for sure. And the thing that's really great about watercolor and doing this more smooshy style is that it's a lot more freeing. I'm so used to being so incredibly intense and precise about everything that I'm working on, and this brings in a lot more freedom because the water just kind of goes where it wants to. It doesn't exactly do what you're planning initially, but it sort of sets its own rules and makes its own plan while it's on the paper, and I really love that. So it's made for a fun, freeing style for me. Now I'm just pulling, and I'm gonna need to pull it like this a bit as it dries so that it doesn't make these horizontal lines where the paper is warping. Alright, so this is done. Hopefully it hasn't gone too far down into his face. Yes, okay. Do a little bit more cleaning. Now he looks like he has a really weird military cut. Alright, so now I'm going to fill in some of these spots. Okay. Now I'm just pushing it out of the warp lines. And I need to clean my hands and rinse out my water because the water is now super red and that's not helpful. I need clear water in order to do the next part, which is going to be his blue shirt, bluish purple shirt. So I'm just going to rinse this out and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. This away. I'm gonna try to clean as I go, or it's just gonna be such a mess here that I won't be able to find anything. And that would be most unfortunate. Okay, so this needs to dry. And I'm gonna just allocate this brush to keeping the paint from going directly into those lines. I don't know if you guys can see them. I can see them on the screen here. It's where it's dipping into the warp lines. So I'm gonna move that out of the way the more it dries. And the same thing happened here on his shirt. And I did the same thing. As it was drying, I just push it around, and then it didn't ever pool into some weird lines on the piece, which I personally don't want. You can see them? Okay. Oh, thanks, Biomorphic. And this brush actually has some fun texture, so maybe I'm gonna throw that down in a few places. Because it doesn't come quite to a point like the other one I was using does. Gives it a little bit more of a, I used a sponge effect or something. Alright, so now while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to do the bottom part of his shirt. So I'm remixing the blue-purple color that I wanted, or that I had. I'm going to make it a little bit more purple. First get a bit more of this color. So let's move... Let's move the camera again so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got my palette here, and I'm just refilling and adding to this blue right here. So I'm still working in watercolor because I'm setting some of the bases down, and then I'll be switching over to acrylic. Oh, Voxel, thank you. That's so awesome of you. I do have originals that I'm going to be putting up on my website soon. If it's an older piece and a specific one that you're looking for, write me to my email if you have it, which if you go to my website, you can just hit the contact button and you can just email me there. And I can... answer your question, but if it's an older piece, most likely it's been sold, so someone has it maybe on eBay. Mark, Eric, hello. And Richie, good morning. All right, so I think that this is a good color. It's just a little bit dark, but I don't think that there's a ton I can do about that besides just watering it down, because the color itself, I think the tone is right. So I'm just adding more water in. Oh, yes. Okay, Mystery. I don't know if you saw or you heard my answer. I'm going to be on for like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. And then I need to go pick up my kids. So it's slightly earlier stream today, but I'll be going. I started at 10 my time, and I'm going to go until about 1:45 my time, p.m. I put too much water down. Oh, thanks, Richie. I am so excited too. I've never been to Dragon Con. I'm excited and nervous. Primary feeling excited, underlying feeling a little bit nervous because that's a long show. I don't know if I've ever done such a long convention before. The longest I've done is San Diego Comic-Con. So I'm kind of in my mind thinking of Dragon Con a little bit like San Diego, and it's an intense show. So I'm excited, and I hope you're going to be there. I would love to see some friendly faces. So yes, please be there. Yay, I finally get to meet you too. Yeah, thank you, Eric. No worries, Mystery. Thank you so much for trying to be here at all. You're wonderful. Okay, I think that this is a very good blue-purple. I'm really happy with it. Once I fill this in, then I'm gonna do the drip on this. Okay, another little smoosh around. I'll see you later, Mark. Actually, you know what? I can't do a slam down, or all these big pools of paint up here are gonna go right down into his face. So this is not going to be dripping down like I had planned, but that's fine. It'll be fine, just as is. I'll put some base color for this part here. Might as well. glad you're gonna be there, Wayne. You can hold my hand and take care of Buzz. Yes, please. You're awesome. I'm so excited. Alright, I need to get the border line around his neck done. I don't want it to be a perfectly smooth edge. Oh yay, you're so welcome, Richie. She is amazing, isn't she? And she is like a Twitch streaming professional. I mean, I'm always just so blown away at how long her streams are. You know, she is a marathon Twitch streamer. It's incredible. You know what? We've barely gotten any, Wayne. It has been the most mild, almost disappointing winter that Calgary has had in the 8 years that I've been here. It's like no snow. Christmas was just warm. I mean, it's insane. Usually at this time of year, it's like -40, feels like -50. But no, this year it's just nothing. Barely, like, we'll get a little tiny dusting of snow that's like less than an inch. It's crazy. I'm sorry to hear you guys are getting pummeled. That's so rough. I did it again. I got it on his face. The directions, I'm used to doing splatter with Copic, and I can control the direction a lot better than it seems I can with a brush. So that's good to know, and I need to be a bit more careful. Thankfully, it's gotten only in places that I can actually go over with some white. So that's handy. When I do all the white at the end, I'll fix all that. Yeah, I know. She is such a boss. It's incredible. I have mad respect. I think just look up Killer Nen. That's what she is. She's an amazing painter, and She also does comic book covers, and she's just incredible. So I get to see her at shows a lot. She's the one that really convinced me to switch to Twitch and do my live streaming over here. And I'm so grateful to her for that. A little bit darker. I will be doing a pass over all of this with acrylic afterwards. Oh, that's amazing, River Dragon. Thank you, Chicago. So all I can say right now is that I'm really hoping underneath this like masked out tie, it's not purple. That would really suck. All right, there we go. Thank you, Richie. Yes, it is. It's very much stepping out of my element in a massive way. I'm glad you think it looks good, though. Aw, River Dragon, that is so sweet of you. Thank you. And you know, I took a look at this morning before starting, and I realized that I need to make his eyelid a little bit more visible on this side as well. See how I have a highlight on the lid on that side? I think I'm gonna do the same thing over here and just put a little highlight in so that I can see, you know, his eye doesn't look like it's just disappearing in there, which I think it is a little bit right now because there's just so little of the eye you're actually seeing. So I'm just gonna do that, but I'll do that later on. Right now I can't even touch it. Okay, so while this is drying, I'm going to prepare the acrylic paint, and this is stepping into unknown territories for me, but hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So this is the acrylic blue that I have, and so to make that purple, I'll mix it with a bit of red. So I have my bag of acrylic paints here. As you can see, I mostly have reds because it was for a big wall painting I did years ago. Oh, okay, that's an interesting point, Chicago. Thank you. And I appreciate those kind of comments. Well, all comments, but ones where you guys are kind of telling me to not go quite so intense as I do is really good, because I'll be trying to fix things or perfect things and I can't help myself. I do that and then I ruin it. Okay, Richie and Chicago have spoken. I will leave it alone. Well, Kylie, I bet you could, and you'd surprise yourself. All right, so a little bit of red and a little bit of blue. Oh, so over the course of working on the Detective 1000 cover, I started and finished Lucifer. It's like 3 seasons. And when I'm really hauling ass on a project, I will turn to my trusty Netflix and have that playing in the background, right? And I love that show. It's so good. I found it just so completely entertaining. I really enjoyed it. And I think I watched it under, like, your guys', someone on Twitch recommended it to me. Maybe it was Kylie. And I'm so glad you did, because it was very, very fun. I love the guy who plays Lucifer. He's hilarious. Hello, Adam. Good morning. Oh, you still need to see season 3? I watched everything that's on Netflix, so I did see what I believe is the season closer for 3, I think. All right, so one thing that oh wow, Arts Mia, thank you so much for the raid. You guys are so great. Yay, raid. Hello. So awesome. Thank you all so much. Okay, I'll show you what I'm working on. I am working on a commission of the Joker from Dark Knight. I'm using a mixture of every tool I have, pretty much. I'm using Copic marker, colored pencil, watercolor, and acrylic paint. I am a comic book artist, so I'm a penciler and inker by trade. I am not a painter at all, but this is something a friend of mine asked me to do for them, so I'm making an exception. Oh, that's so great. Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. I love getting raided. Woohoo! So right now I've done the base with watercolor, and I'm going to be adding in acrylic paint now. Thank you all so much. Oh, that's why you're here? Because I'm working on a Joker? Yay! Well, in my opinion, and I know there are people that disagree with me, which is way okay, I think Heath Ledger was the best Joker. So I'm really having fun working on this one. The face looks like a photo. Awesome, thank you. Trilogy show, I'm doing great, and I'm so excited to have gotten a raid. Thank you. He was, yeah, I loved him. So incredible. Hands down. I'm glad you guys agree with me, and thank you all so much for the new follows. I appreciate it. All right, so on the back of his vest, there is a seam where it's satin of this same kind of purple. So there are areas here that I need to work on, but they're wet. So I'm gonna start here on the back and do the back of his vest and make it look like satin, meaning that I'll be adding in white afterwards. And I checked on the internet to see if I can mix gouache paint with acrylic, and I can. So that's awesome because at the moment I don't have a white acrylic paint and I didn't feel like going to buy one right now this morning, which I would need it for. So I checked online and you can mix gouache with acrylic, so that's great. Yeah, he's kind of missing his hair. So hair is gonna be put in last, and I'm gonna use acrylic paint for the hair, but I need the background to dry first, so I'm waiting for that to happen. Oops, I forgot that part of this is green. My trusty erasers are water on a Q-tip, and I'm just gonna erase this little bit of acrylic because I put it in the wrong place. There's a little band of green that goes all the way around the back. Oh, that's true, Kylie. I don't have, I don't know if I have like a purpley one. I was thinking to more go for, you know, the actual satin look. Really, you can? I did not know that, Adam. And thank you, Arts Mia. All right, so it's just a little bit here, and right now I'm just putting in the darkest color, basically. And it'll lighten up when I start adding in the white. And it's just a little bit. I don't need to do tons because there's already so much going on. And I'm just gonna let it taper off on the back. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this other side. So I'm just taking from my little palette. Forsaken, yes, I will be at C2E2 and Emerald City. So it's gonna be 2 weekends in a row. It's gonna be a lot of travel. I take it you'll be at C2E2, Forsaken? Water that down a little bit more. Oh, that's true, Kylie. All right, so I'm gumming up the edge a little bit. I don't want any perfect edges all along here. I've just gotten the brush a lot more wet to pull some of this stuff out, but not quite so strong and opaque as it's been all along. I want it to like water down and go out and then just disappear into the sides. Same thing over here, I'm watering it down, just letting it kind of smoosh around. Oh wow, that is so cool, Wayne. I am not doing WonderCon this year. Thank you so much, Adam. That's so cool. You're really going for it. Lots of travel in one shot. That's awesome, Wayne. Yeah, it has been a long time since I've been to C2E2. I think it's been like 2 or 3 years since I've gone. And letting it fade out. Oh, you met me at Wizard World. Okay. I'm sure when I see you, I'll recognize you. I'm great with faces. I'm just terrible with names. Richie, it's a family friend that we've known for years. And when they asked me, like, when I get asked to do portrait style pieces like this, I say no. Because it's just really not, it's not even kind of the style of artist I am, and it's just not something I'm particularly into even. But yes, this friend of mine had, well, family friend, had the ability to persuade and insist a little bit more. And yeah, so they were like, I really want this as a gift for someone, so make it. Like, damn it, fine. And at the same time, I know I need to take these kind of projects to make me step out of my element a little bit more. So in that way, I'm grateful. But I've procrastinated big time. Yeah, his hair is definitely green, but it kind of looks like a dye job that's, you know, a few weeks old. Had one too many washes and needs to be done again, so it's kind of grown out and losing its bright green and looks kind of more like a yellowy, sick green. Yeah, it's weird. The only 2 paintings I've ever done in my life are for family friends. They seem to get me to do stuff I don't normally do. Probably because also they don't really know what kind of art I do. They're just like, oh, you're an artist, draw me this. And it's like, that's not my wheelhouse. All right, I'm getting some of the gouache, and I'm gonna start lightening up a few little spots. Where did I put it? Damn it. Oh, here it is. Oh, hello, Totally Confused. Thank you. Yes, that's true, Adam. But it wasn't done with acrylics and tons of mixed media. I don't think I used acrylic in Magoo. And I kind of mean using acrylics and stuff. And yeah, next, wood burning. Red Gamer. It is kind of early for me. I usually don't have my act together as well at this time of day, but I knew if I wanted to Twitch stream today, I had to start early. So yeah, because then, you know, there's like the pick up the kids on Fridays. A lot of my kids need alternate Uber driving from mom. So in the afternoon, I'm a bit of an Uber driver. So I thought it would be safer to go live a little bit earlier today. So I'm just making a little lighter color right here, just to add a few highlights and try to blend it in with the paint slightly. And then I need to let this dry, and I'll move on to do something else in this piece. I guess start in on his hair because it's looking like it's starting to dry. Woo, too much paint. Actually, that kind of looks cool. Might leave it just like that. Smoosh. I do not have my Twitch schedule done yet. I think it's, you know, more or less the same every time, except I can't really say for sure when I'm going on. I'm a mom of 3, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, meaning that if the kids need pickup and all of that, I go do the pickups, obviously. It's way too far for Dan to get off work and make it here and all of that. So I do the pickups, and I handle any times they have doctor appointments or feeling sick or whatever. That's me. So it's the best that I can do on the 3 days that I go live, which is what are the days? Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So I more or less go at the same times, and yeah, for now, that's my schedule. It's a little more loosey-goosey. All right, see you later, Kylie. Lots of love. Thanks again for the shirt. So I don't want to get too clean with this. I actually want to keep it pretty loose and messy. Now his shirt has a pattern on it, And I'm probably more gonna allude to the pattern, but again, I'm gonna do that when it dries. That's cool, Richie. The Red Gamer, you know, I did have a bunch of that on DeviantArt, so that would probably be the place to get them. Or there's people that have inked my line art and put it on Deviant for people to color. All right, and I'm grabbing a little bit more black because I want to get this darker up in here, just for a shadow. And then I'm just grabbing a little bit of watercolor. There we go. So maybe while this is still not completely dry is a good time for me to put some dots in, just because I want it to look smooshy. I don't want it to look very clean. So I'm gonna grab some more white over here. Mix it with this. So right now I'm working with white mixed with white gouache mixed with the blue acrylic paint that I have. And let's just do some basic patterns. Maybe that's still too light. I don't want it to stand out as much as it is. It almost looks a little bit more like velour right now. That's fine. Joker can rock some velour. Hello, Hans. How are you? It's been a while. I'm glad you're doing well. Oh, well, thank you, Hans. Okay, so I think for now, that's how I'm gonna leave it. I'm doing basic pulling. It almost makes it look like paisley. It's great. There we go. All right, so now I want to fix up a little something on the green here because I missed a spot. So I'm just filling in, and it's nice that they're both kind of wet because it'll fill it in not quite perfectly evenly, which is exactly how I want it to be. I'm kind of trying to force myself to not get too detailed on any of this. And then I'm blurring some of the lines a little bit more. Yep, it's almost time. Woohoo! Yeah, it is a challenge, Hans. To not go too detailed. It's just literally where my mind is trying to go so hard. All right, let's see how this is underneath. Did I just fill it with tons of blue? So this part is it's like a dark green, like a forest green. So yeah, some blue got on it, but I guess that's not the end of the world. Can keep it from looking too perfect. I knew I was running the risk of this happening, but it's fine, even if it's just, yeah, that will actually give it some fun patterns. All right, so I need to let the blue dry before I do the green tie. So I'm gonna start drawing his hair now and then actually doing the hair. Okay. And I'm going to switch to white for some of these parts. Actually, I'm going to use a white colored pencil that is, well, I can just use this gray one. It's the watercolor colored pencils. So if they get wet, they'll disappear and just basically mesh into the colors that I'm putting down. If I were to use a more waxy style one like this one, the Luminous, which I like to use because it's really opaque and strong, it will, it'll just stay. It's not very easy to erase afterwards, but these ones are. Oh, the DS, yes, what Hans said, I'm both. Traditional is more my comfort zone, but I do also digitally color my work and all that fun stuff. I may have even missed a couple spots that should have been done in red. That'll be unfortunate. Have a good one, Richie. See you later. And I'm so excited to hear you're going to be at Dragon Con. Yay! Okay, size-wise, I think his hair goes up about that high. See you later, Hans. You need to see how long his hair is. Can barely tell, but it looks like it goes all the way down. No fun. Yep, be ready because I'll send out an email for each respective show. So if you know what you want, that makes it tons easier. I have a curl drawn in here that I don't think is appropriate. He looks too much like Clark Kent. Ooh, this is tricky. The red up there is still wet. I'm gonna have to be careful. I don't want eraser shavings dried into the paint. That would really suck. Ooh, and something fun I discovered, guys, is my favorite eraser is the Faber-Castell Click Erase erasers, and I can show you what, because I buy the erasers in bulk. So anyway, these erasers, and I have had trouble for years because I don't like the plastic actual click erase that these erasers go into. That's constantly coming out when I'm trying to erase, and then I've got this long floppy eraser that's not cleaning anything. Then I realized I have these ones, and they're the types, you can find them all over the place, but they kind of open up and have a little claw. They fit the Faber-Castell eraser nibs. And so now I have the perfect eraser. And I am so happy. And I'm gonna fix his ear a tiny bit. His ear is supposed to come down lower. It's right about there. So I'm just using colored pencil. I have sort of like a beige color and then a skin tone. And then I can put some white in there too, because I went up too high when I did the first pass with watercolor on this side, and he lost his ear. Now most of it's going to be covered in hair, but still I need these parts to actually look like ears, and they can't be uneven from one another. Okay, now I need to make some yellowy green. Oh, that's interesting, Richie. That's a good idea. Oh, good morning, Havoc. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to do one of these. I'm gonna dip out for a second because I need to change my water. Check out how filthy that is. And just rinse this off real quick so I can do a whole nother set. I'm sorry that my painting supplies are not very extensive, so I keep having to go wash it and rinse it and all of that. But I'll be right back. I'm super close. Okay, clear water and clean palette acquired. And time to start getting colors ready for his hair. I am officially kind of nervous about this part. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna need to make a green because this is a bit more of a turquoise. So I'm gonna need to mix it with some yellow. And I'm just, at this point, really hoping these colors work. Here, I'll move the thing down so you guys can see. So I have some yellow. And we're just going to wing it here and hope for the best. Now, it's not a very attractive green dye that he has in his hair, and of course that's intentional, so I don't mean that in a dissing way towards the Heath Ledger Joker, because worship, but it's not exactly a very attractive green. So the pressure isn't on to make it extremely beautiful, thank God, but I still need to get it right. So I'm going to need a lot more yellow than I anticipated. So this is just your typical yellow, I think. Yeah, now I have too much yellow. But there's so much hair that I need to do, so I'm actually okay that I have quite a bit here. Oh my God, I think I need more yellow. That's insane. Okay, screw this. I tried to be all fancy and use a palette knife, but no. Let's just clean this off. Yes, needs more yellow still. Less Kermit, more Oscar. I'm probably gonna get completely reamed for this one, but who's Oscar? Oh no. Yeah, exactly. I think this is pretty close. Yeah, I never watched Sesame Street. Needs more yellow still. thank you so much for the follow. Who is that? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't see it. I almost want it the same color as the watercolor green that I have. Might need a little bit of brown for that. Yes, this is a commission piece, Havoc. Okay, well that's too much brown for there, but I'm gonna add it in here. I just wanted to do a test and see if the brown helped. And it does. Oh, that's interesting, Adam. Thank you. I had no idea. As you guys can see, paint is not something I know well. I'm pretty happy with this color. I think it's close. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some paint into a few other little pots here. And in one I'm going to add more yellow. In another I'm going to add more brown. And just try to get a few shades and highlights. All right, so I think I'm going to start with this so that it's a little bit darker, and then I'll work in the highlights afterwards. I'm actually going to put a little bit more brown. So I want to start with the dark and then add highlights into it. And his hair has a bit more yellowy brown in it. So I'm gonna get a little bit more yellow. And I'm making such a mess of my paints and everything. Ugh. I'm gonna need to really do a giant cleaning of all the lids. Okay. Well, since I've gotten the color done and I'm happy with the colors for the most part, I'll continue mixing and stuff as we go. I'm gonna run downstairs. So we're gonna have a momentary break because I am gonna go get my food. So I'm gonna just quickly microwave my food because it's ready already. And I'll see you all back in literally 3 minutes because it takes me that long to microwave my lunch. So here we go. Intermission for lunch break. I will be right back. Okay, so how was that as far as being gone? Hopefully I wasn't gone too long. But I'm back and time to get to work. So this is my lunch. I can show you guys. I have similar thing every day, and that is it's frozen veggies mixed with canned chicken and some butter and a bunch of cayenne pepper. And I am so hungry because I fast from 5 in the morning till noon. So I haven't eaten since last night, and I'm awake for a lot of that time, so it's not fun, and I'm gonna have some lunch. But if I don't stream now through lunch, then I'm not gonna get it all finished. So anyway, I hope you guys can bear with me while I like take bites of food every so often. Okay, so we have the greens, and I'm gonna start painting with them and doing dark tones, and then I'm just gonna pull out some highlights in his hair because I don't want his hair to be really vibrant or even really all that standing out. I just need to imply that it's there. Okay. Just a couple bites is enough to get things going, and then I'm not so starving hungry. And let's get some basics for the hair tone down. So right now it's quite watered down, but it's almost like I'm using watered down paint to sketch out where I want his hair. So I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see it, hopefully. So as you can see, it's picking up the white colored pencil that I used, because I used the aquarelle pencils that I have, so they turn into watercolor once they're touched with water. And then hopefully I can go in with like my really tiny little eraser and do some erasing of whatever's left of that watercolor. So I don't want a bunch of his ear showing or anything like that. Just a little bit. Totally confused. Yes, that's the plan. I have another hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes that I can work, and yes, I hope to be finished by then. Hey, Melvin. So it's picking up some of the red, which is interesting. I'm gonna have to watch out for that. Oh yay, that's awesome, Melvin. It's weird, it's picking up the red and then I'm having to go over and fix parts that obviously shouldn't be red. Oh, have a good one, Totally Confused. Thank you so much for hanging out for a bit. So I want this part that's covering his ear right here to be pretty opaque because it's kind of just turning to red right there and I don't really want that. Hello, PSN. Do you prefer being called PSN or Central Park? Yeah, I started my stream a little earlier today. Gabriel, hi! Oh, sorry, Gabriel. Thank you so much for being here, though. Yeah, it is picking up the red. But it might be a little bit of a blessing in disguise because it's annoying in some places, but I think in others it's going to be handy that I'm not going too far with the colors. And I know it's hard for you guys to see right now what I'm doing. Okay, so his curls kind of come forward on this side. Melvin, I'm a little more comfortable with Copic. Painting is not something I do very often at all. So yeah, I'd say that Copic is definitely my preference, but it's fun to do something new and different, that's for sure. And I'm really enjoying this process, but it's a learning curve for me. So yeah, the reason why you haven't seen me do this before is because neither have I. So this is all getting quite dark, but again, actually, I think it's really good that it is, because then I can just pull out some highlights and it looks like his hair is going into the background, which is really what I want to happen. And if it's drying darker, kind of mixing with the red, again, I'm happy with that, because then I can come back around and, you know, make brighter pops with a bit more of the brighter greens that I've got. Oh, thank you so much, PSN. It's from Kylie made it for me. I think on here she's Calica or Katika. So I need to make sure that I blend the edges where white meets red here. Because I don't want it to look like his hair is a sticker on the top of his head. So it's probably for the best that I'm having to do some blending. And then I'll just build up with the green as I'm able. See this part, it's pulling some of the red, but I'm seeing that actually working out to my advantage because the base, like his roots are dark and his and then his hair goes light as it grows out. Oh, hello, Givertrun. Oh, you're Adam. Okay. Happy green hair. That is so right, Gabriel. See, look at that. This was a big glob of green that I put down, and now it's an odd brown because it's picking up the reds. I'm just doing a light hairline here. And I'll probably put some Copic marker shade back into his hairline in a couple places. Okay, so I'm going really thin now for just some bits of hair. Oh, that is so great, Melvin. So you're the Melvin I know from that I did the Rogue piece for, right? Like I'm thinking of the right Melvin here, I think. Yes? Yeah, well, I'm using acrylic on watercolor paint. That's great, Wade. I'm so happy to hear it, I guess. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so sorry to hear that it got crushed by the post office, but I am thrilled that it was still okay on the inside. Thank you so much for letting me know, Gabriel. And thank you for your order. She was special. Oh my God, wait. Oh, Adam, it's on watercolor paper. Because I've kind of done a mix of everything on this piece. I've sort of thrown all I have at it. Literally. Oh, yay, same Melvin. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, my appointment went great with the neurologist, and I got my first treatment, and it was fantastic. I meant to put it in my email to you guys, and I forgot. But yeah, I got, what I'm doing is there's a chronic migraine sufferer treatment where they actually give you Botox, but not in the like make you look nice and young places in your scalp. So my scalp was a little bit like a pincushion the other day. But yeah, the hope is that it helps with, I guess, deadening or something all the nerves that cause you that migraine feeling. So yeah, I got it done. I haven't had any adverse side effects. I can still move my face and nothing is paralyzed. So I'm hoping it'll work, and I'm hopeful and pretty excited about it, actually. Yeah, it deadens the nerves. Okay. Oh, she does? And does it work, Adam? It helps a lot. Oh, that's so good to hear. Yeah, a couple other people I've talked to and any research I've done, they've said it really works. But I think the neurologist wanted me to have, a little bit more realistic expectations, and he said, for most people it seems to work, but there are some people it doesn't work with. So, yeah. I think I just need to, be realistic and hope for the best, which is what I'm going to do. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that was possible, Gabriel. No, thank you so much. So I think I'm gonna have to do a fair few passes over his hair to get it all with the proper highlights and everything. Right now I'm literally just trying to set up his hairline and get the basics in. But it keeps drying light. Almost, well, what I mean is just not as opaque as I was expecting. So I'll have to go in with lighter colors, but that's great. I can build it up to working from dark to light, basically, which is interesting. I'm usually, with most tools, you're working light to dark, but it looks like here, I'm gonna be working dark to light, which I'm excited about, because then I can really gauge how much highlight I'm going to even put in. Oh, wow, Gabriel. Those are some bad headaches. I mean, that's intense. Thank you, Adam. From you, that really means a lot, too, because I know you know how to paint. Thank you. So I do know that he's got a bit of a receding hairline on the sides, and on this side there's a curl coming down. so you won't really see it. But on this side, I need to bring his hairline in a bit more on his temple so that it shows that that is going up and back. Wow, that's a lot of like work, but I'm so glad that it worked out, Gabriel. That is great. It really is amazing what they can do. You always hear the horror stories, but it's so great to hear that something actually, you know, got fixed and your friend is fine now. That's amazing. Usually the story ends at like, yeah, now their face is paralyzed forever. You know, I guess those are the ones that make the news. All right, I'm gonna take a break and take another couple bites of my lunch. Okay, here we go. What do we do now? Copics. Generally, yes, Adam. I start with my lightest and go to dark. Have a good one, Melvin. Thank you so much for hanging out. So, as it dries, it's drying like a very dark forest green. And then now I can start building it up and bringing in highlights, which is actually really good. Oh, you didn't see what was for my lunch, Gabriel? It's frozen veggies, obviously heated up, and then half a can of chicken, and then I add some butter and tons of cayenne pepper. Thank you, Wayne. I hope you guys don't mind me chewing. The one thing I need to figure out is how high his hair is. You want some? Yay! No. It's just my lunchtime. Well, it was half an hour ago. True, it always does. Okay, one more bite and then I'll get back to work. I think that I made his jawline right here too sharp. I need to tone it down. Thank you. Okay. And get some more around his ear. I need to cover up all the parts that I left white. Yeah, that's interesting, Adam. Well, I'm glad to hear then that I'm kind of doing this right. Phew. You don't think anyone cares? Okay, thank you, Gabriel. Oh, interesting. I haven't heard that you have to always work dark to light. I think it really depends on what tool you're using. Also, you know, art, in my opinion, you know, it's all just somebody's opinion. Well, like, obviously, you know, certain things, if you're drawing a human and you know, the anatomy is something that, you know, generally follows a certain rule, but then again, every person is different. I think the one rule is perspective. And then everything else, it's kind of like work light to dark, work in a way that works for you, you know? And not all of these rules, in my opinion, they're more like guidelines. If you remember that from, what was it? Pirates of the Caribbean. They're more like guidelines, not rules. Yeah, I've never heard that with Copics. I've always heard it the other way around. I think that sometimes going dark first is handy for leather and latex and stuff like that, but if you're really trying to get a nice smooth blend, start light, go darker. But again, if you try that, you know, that person is saying that because it works that way for them, you know? And if it doesn't work that way for you, it doesn't in any way mean that you're doing it wrong. Okay. That's awesome. It's cool that it turned out good and, you know, but again, do a way that works for you. And you know what? Maybe once you're really, really comfortable, Central Park, with your method, and then you hear a different technique, um, you'll have a little bit more of a foundation to actually switch techniques. So just because you're doing it one way doesn't mean that you can't switch and try other things afterwards, you know? Take it easy on yourself. fun, Gabriel. Oh, thank you so much, Voxel. I hope you have a great day. I really appreciate you hanging out for a while and for all the things you said. Thank you so much. All right, so I've done the first pass with sort of the darkest green that I had. It's ended up drying 10 times darker than I expected, so it's a pretty surprising amount of dark. But now I'll go in and start putting in pops of highlight, which I think actually worked out better than I was expecting. Because I honestly wasn't expecting to get that much depth into the piece, but it's done it all by itself. Yay. And I think right here I need to pull it in a little bit more still so that it follows his temple. And this just looks like it's going back a little bit. So what are everybody's plans for tomorrow? I have a few plans, so I can start. Oh, thank you, Gabriel. No, I wish, Adam. No, I'm having frozen veggies mixed with canned chicken. I'm a little bit of like the leftover person. I just kind of eat whatever's left in the fridge, but we don't have any leftovers right now. We use them all up, so then I'll eat this. This is kind of my staple lunch if I don't have something else. Yeah. Hence the I wish it was Fruit Loops. Actually, though, I don't really like Fruit Loops. They're kind of gross, in my opinion. I really like, my kids love them, so they're around, but I really like shredded wheat. The brown sugar shredded wheat. Oh my god. I could literally just have a bowl and eat them plain with no milk. I mean, I love them so much. So I'd say that's my favorite cereal. The only cereal you like is granola? How very healthy of you, Shane. Oh, yuck. All right, I got paint all over my hand. Huh, Twitch test bot. That's scary. Ooh, Honey Nut Cheerios. I forgot about those. You're right, Central Park. Oh, fun, Gabriel. Can you guys see this Twitch test bot thing? It's a little bit odd. You guys have never seen, you don't see it on your end? Yeah, it's pretty weird. It's probably just junk and it's there to like freak people out. Yeah, it's weird. Oh well. For now, I'm gonna ignore it. All right, let's zoom in a little bit more. Start getting some focused attention on highlights. And we'll see how much of these highlights even show up once it starts to dry. I'm very confused as to how all this works. I don't use acrylic very often. I didn't know it dried darker. I'm so used to Copic that dries lighter that this is like really wigging me out. Okay. Yeah, I probably should. Oh, that's great, Adam. For now, I'm not going to use any white because I just want to see how this one dries, and I'm just working backwards. So like, let's just pretend this is the midtone now, even though I'm kind of using it like a highlight. It looks like a highlight right now, but I have a feeling it's going to dry as a midtone. And then I'll do it again with some white added in. Oh, that's great. The squeaky music. I love that. I need to throw some other directions in his hair so that it looks sufficiently messy. Oh, okay. Well, Samantha's not going to hear this, but thank you. I use it's a Logitech. It's just their basic Logitech camera. Their webcams, sorry. It's actually not their newest one. I read some reviews, and the newest one didn't get as good reviews as their older one. Oh, thank you, Central Park. Yeah, I think so. No, it's the Logitech. I don't know. Maybe so. From what I can see up there, it just says it's 1080p or something like that. I don't have clear coat. What's that, Adam? Remember who you're talking to. I don't paint. I'm happy to go buy some, though. I want to go to the art store anyway. Yeah, exactly. I need excuses. Happiness. Nail polish to the rescue. Hairspray. Well, will that work on watercolor paper, Adam? Oh, and it's the stuff that the artist Lucio Perillo is always doing at the end of his paintings. Because he posts videos of that, and I love it. It always looks so good. Oh, that's good to know about how hairspray yellows over time. That would be gross. Oh, interesting. Well, that's good to know, Adam. I thought you could only like paint it on, and it's really almost like an oil. You know what? Because the hair is in acrylic and the rest of the piece is in like matte colors, it actually does make his hair look greasy. So it stands out in real life, just seeing it here. I'm just gonna rotate this a little bit more. Oh, I am so sorry, Tom. Yeah, I went a little earlier today. Congratulations on the new job. Okay, so now I think that the midtones are in, and then I'm gonna add in the darker shadow, the highlights now. Oh, thank you, Tom. So appreciated. All right, so that just splooshed out everywhere. Bummer. All right, so I'm making a lighter green now. So we can have a highlight color. Oh yeah, I'm scared to look at Olivia's piece. She's so good. All right, let's look. Let's look at Olivia's. Oh yeah, hers is so good. Wow. That's really amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Gabriel. All right, thank you, Tom. I think that this one, though, the piece itself and his makeup and everything that's going on helps. I don't know if I can just do likenesses for anybody else. Yeah. This part of his jaw is too sharp. I need to fix it. But thankfully, the colored pencil works. And I do actually have a colored pencil that I might try as well for his hair. It's interesting. Because I'm looking at Twitch here, I can see the art on a little window as well because I'm looking at the Twitch stream. And I can see things I want to fix because when you're seeing it, I don't know, there's something about seeing it right here and seeing it on the screen that I can catch things I want to fix on the screen better than I can when it's sitting right in front of my nose. So sometimes I'll actually take a picture of the work I'm doing and look at it on my phone. It's kind of like, you know, standing in front of a mirror and you see things, but it's sort of that same concept. And I found it really helpful, honestly, to just look up at the Twitch stream and I can see shit I don't like and I want to fix. It's awesome. It's true, I should, Wade. All right, so it is drying lighter. It's slowly coming to the foreground. Yay. And these are the two tones that I'm using for his skin around his chin. So when I round this out somehow, I'll be using these ones. All right, I want to see how this colored pencil is going to look too. And see if it will at all be helpful. had to clean my eraser. I mean, not my eraser, my little sharpener. Okay, so here's a green colored pencil, and it's kind of the only one I have that's true green. This is more like a turquoise, and that would not work for Joker. But at least I have this one, so I can probably use that too, since colored pencils are a little bit more comfort zone than acrylics. But I'm not going to chicken out. I am going to put highlights in his hair with acrylic so that I don't be a chicken. And I have about 45 minutes left, so that's a decent amount of time to actually get some work done here. And hopefully finish it. That's what I would like to do. Just checking my alarm. Yeah, my alarm rings at 1:45 to go pick up my baby padoodles. Hello, Nightcrawler. Baby Padoodles with a P. Yeah, I have the weirdest names for my 8-year-old son. He just kind of deals with me and all the random names I've given him. All of my kids, I'm the worst. So they all have something, and you know, they just kind of humor me. Oh, yay, that's awesome, Tom. And are we back on the same time zone? Oh, yummy. Oh, that's great, Central Park. Yeah, no, they never do. But Lyndon will respond to it if I'm calling him. It's fantastic. I'm always getting my two boys' names mixed up, and the thing that's hilarious is they're like 8 years apart, so like there's no way to actually mix them up as people or anything, but I get their names mixed up all the time. I feel the same way, Tom. One of these days I'll get it straight. Oh, Gabriel, Kylie only just left. She stayed up so late because she saw that the stream was starting like at 1 o'clock her time. So she hung around for a while and then she went to bed. Poor thing. She must have been so tired. Oh, that would be so cool, Tom. So I'm going to blend this stuff in shortly. I'm just kind of mapping out, excuse me, where I would get the highlights from and what I plan to do with them. All right, so I'm mixing some of the lighter color in with the main light green that I had because I want to start doing a little bit of blending. And start smooshing. I don't want it to be quite as clean as I have it. And then I'm going to go over it with colored pencil and put in a few darker shadows too. So I'm kind of going over the, just those lighter strips that I started out with, and I'm blending them back into the hair, which I hope is gonna make it look a little bit more natural. See, like this side as compared to that side. Oh, thank you, Ashley. Orders watercolors, nice. Gabriel, to answer your question, no, they did not. I went off on my own personal tangent to do this. They wanted a sketch of the Joker. I think a little bit of personal guilt is mixed in because it's taken me so long to get this one done. So I'm sure that that is playing a role in why I decided to paint it, but also just it's another phase of learning, and another thing I need to overcome is my general fear of painting and my concern that I'm not going to get it right and stuff like that, you know? So with this one, it's kind of a favor to someone, and as such, it I can take a few more risks and try something out. And since they're a family friend, they can just be nice to me and deal. So this is actually working out quite nicely, where I'm just picking up the white lines that I already had and mixing them with some of the new paint I'm putting down, and it's softening them and actually making it look so much better than it did originally. Because sometimes I'll put down paint and I'll just be like, oh my god, I just ruined it. I just screwed up. Oh my god, this is so bad. Thankfully it works. Thank you, Ashley. All right, so I'm gonna put down a little bit more white highlights in a few places, because now I'm seeing that this technique actually works out nicely. Yay! So more like black colored pencil or darker lines are gonna go in also at the end. But this is helping him stand out a little bit more. How am I doing on time? 1:18. Good. Yes, it's the guilt edition. So yeah, I know that technically his hair could have a lot more highlights, and maybe in the end I'll decide to add more in. Right now, I'm kind of wanting it to drop back, but I think that I probably should in some areas bring it up to about that color so that it somewhat matches. Yay, thank you, Gabriel. That is awesome to hear. My lunch is so cold, oh my god. Okay, back to work. Anyway, I really didn't know that some of the highlights could actually be reblended back in, which honestly, technically, I should have known that. That's kind of common sense with paint, but needless to say, I didn't really think about it. I don't do this often enough to remember to have common sense. So, yes, his hair is looking very stringy and spindly right now. It's freaking me out. I hope it doesn't freak you out. But anyway, I will hopefully be fixing it as I continue to blend it. But I don't want him to necessarily recede too far into the background that it just kind of looks like a floating head. I mean, his hair is part of his character, really. It's a supporting actor in the role of the Joker. And I don't want to drop it back and be too chicken to put in proper highlights that you can't even see his hair. And it just kind of is like the floating bald bobblehead Joker. But he doesn't have a skull. That would be really bad. And his hair is really just a giant mess. So I need to mess it up a little bit more. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Gotta have that greasy, dirty hair. His hair looks like so all kinds of filthy. Oh my God. And I know that's the intent. And they did it so good. I honestly wonder what they used to make his hair that greasy. If it was just like some oil or like tons of gel or who knows. You know, I have so many different little gloves. I'm not entirely sure where I got this one, but I cut an extra hole in it to try doubling it over. And I have like all kinds of random gloves. A couple I got on Hot Topic years ago. A couple times I got some at Claire's, believe it or not. Checking. Yes, me too, Gabriel. That is so great. Oh, really, Shane? That's interesting. just moving it in since this is what I'm working on. Did I go too close? Back a little bit. This is just a really watered down green to bring it in a little bit more. And I need to darken in his ear. It's too light. I'm just using a little bit of grabbed a little bit of watercolor. Hey, Nightcrawler, how's it going? All right, I'm almost done. Squee! So I want to refine and now add depth. I need to reconnect the hair to the head. And in order to do that, I need to start putting in some good shadows. I think I'm gonna do that with colored pencil and perhaps even a smidge of Copic marker to get the right colors and to just get in enough depth, but in a controlled manner that I'm used to. So I did use acrylic paint on this, but now I might switch back to something I know and love. But first, a little bit more highlight in a couple places, just to really pull it out. So I've kind of made so many weird little mixes, but this is what I'm using now. Well, I highly doubt it, but that's so cool, Gabriel, and thank you. So kind. I have mad respect for her. Yeah. In order to really give it proper depth, I do need to bring out some stronger highlights and just get a little bit braver with this stuff. So I think that's a good spot to do one. Maybe a little bit more on the top of his head, so he stands out from what's behind him. Water this down a little bit more. All right, well, here's an opinion for you guys, and I could be wrong, and, you know, I expect some hate mail. But in my opinion, now, I don't know how many of you have seen Batman Forever. Anybody remember it? Well, anyway, Tommy Lee Jones plays Two-Face in Batman Forever, right? And that came out, what, in the 90s? I think. So anyway, yes, so Batman Forever, I believe Heath Ledger took some of his acting cues, and I adore him as the Joker. Flat out adore him. But yeah. I think some of the way he acted and the way he handled his face and the way he talked was so much like how Tommy Lee Jones played Two-Face. Like, so much, in my opinion. And I think, even though maybe it's said nowhere and no one would admit to it, I think he may have seen that and gotten some acting cues from Tommy Lee Jones and how he played Two-Face. Just putting it out there. If you look at the way that they talk and the way that Tommy Lee Jones did his lips and mouth and the way he licked his lips, and all of it is exactly how Heath Ledger does the Joker. I mean, bear in mind they're different people, so everything is slightly different, but it's quite interesting. Blasphemy. See, I knew so. At least there's a lull at the end, so you can forgive me. Yeah. Whatever it was that he did, it was very, I think it's very much like Heath Ledger plays it in The Dark Knight. Possibly. I'm a huge Tommy Lee Jones fan, so I have seen Batman Forever a million times because I just love him in the movie. The rest is quite painful, I'll admit, but Tommy Lee Jones I felt was just fantastic, and to play that part is so out of character for him that it's almost funny, and it's so good. Oh, I don't know that one. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know that movie, Shane. All right, I have 10 minutes left. So I think now is the time to move on to his tie. If there's any more little highlights and stuff I want to do on this, I can just do those off stream. It's not going to really make any huge difference to the piece itself because it's pretty much done. I just need to do his tie. So let's get his tie finished. Oh, Under Siege. There we go. Yes, I have seen that. So this is a darker tie It's like a dark green, and I'm just gonna use the green that I have left over here. Oh, okay, now I'm slowly starting to remember this movie. Okay, what was the cake scene again? And Tommy Lee Jones was the bad guy, yeah? I should go back and watch some of these movies. Right. Right, okay, I remember. That's right. I'm gonna erase some of this. I don't want all of that going all the way to the edge. Oh, hello, Mystery. I'm glad you made it for lunch break. I'm gonna need to see this movie again. I saw it so long ago. I barely remember it. I'm sure most of it would probably be pretty painful to watch nowadays, but I'll just watch all the Tommy Lee Jones parts. Oh, yay, thank you, Mystery. All right, I'm just gonna leave it like that. And I missed a spot on his shirt right there. Classic. Tom, you have an excellent memory for movie quotes. I love it. All right, 4 minutes left. I missed it on purpose, always. I can't believe that this might actually happen. I may finish this piece right now. Oh my God. Yep. And boom, we are finished. Squee! I am so happy. I'm done. So I think everything is dry, and this is the whole thing now. I may do little teeny weeny touch-ups here and there. I'll add a little bit more white, or you know, I do kind of start going a little bit nutty. But anyway, here is the piece. So the base is very loose, scribbly drawing. Lots of smooshing and splattering, right? And then as it goes into his face, it's more detailed, and then there's just more splatters. So I did like layer upon layer of watercolor for the splatters. But anyway, this is the final piece, and I had so much fun working on this with you guys. You rock. I'm gonna start something new on Sunday. I'm going to be working on some Hell Witch blanks for the Lady Death Universe crew. So I'll be working on those over the next few weeks because I have, I believe, 4 or 5 of them that I need to get done. So yeah, there's gonna be lots of Copic, lots of sketching and inking, and it's gonna be way fun. But this was so exciting to do with you guys. Thank you so much for all of your encouragement and kindness. It means the world. I'm so excited, and I'm glad you like it. Lots of messy hands, that's right. And I need to hide all of this stuff before I leave, or Sherlock paws are going to be everywhere. I don't know exactly what they're going to be for, Gabriel, but yes, I'm handing them over to Coffin, so they'll use them for something, I'm sure. Anyway, I can't show you Detective Tom. I want to so bad. Yes, he does, and he will get acrylic paint everywhere. Well, I've got to run, so we won't raid today, but I'll leave you all with tons and tons of love. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you on Sunday for Hell Witch from Lady Death Universe. Mwah! Thank you, guys. I'll see you later. Bye!